Hi, my name's Brad Kyllo. This is my sand drag Banshee. I bought this in approximately 2011, and I finally got this motor in about 2016. So what we have going on here is this frame was built in '04. It's 9 feet long, rigid frame. It has been modified 2 to 3 different times. Mostly the wheelie bar section has been modified 2 to 3 different times. Just has been done again before the next race. Has rack and pinion steering, wildwood brakes, shearer exhaust on this one. We have aftermarket radiator, all aluminum. The engine in this is a 10 mil twister big block. It has a 2 through 5 override transmission, straight cut gear, lockup clutch. This is still kickstart. I have the compression down just a little bit so that I can still kickstart it and not have to worry about a external starter. I run a aluminum gas tank. Most of the engine components are aftermarket. The cylinder head is, like I said, the twister. It's one of the older ones. It has decorations in the side of it for the big block. This has V-Force 3 reeds, custom made boots for the carbs. They're 39 mil keihin carbs. This is Mattoon side case for the clutch cover. As I said, everything's custom made from the brake pedal all the way through. It takes a full length of chain. It's 13 inches over on the back, so the front is approximately 3 feet over. The paint job on the front, and the person that built this was Lou Swan. He built the frame in approximately '05, and I think he did the plastics and the paint work in the same year, late in the same year. It's got a 6-foot wheelie bar. It'll run, right now with this motor, it'll run approximately a 3.85 to a 4.0, just depending on the track, how damp it is, or how everything is hooking up. I run ET races, so I'm not set up to go, 1,000 miles an hour, try and run a 3.3. I'm just not set for that. I'm set to run 10 laps in a day and run the same time every time. This engine runs on alcohol, methanol. It's 40-to-1 mix oil. With that, pretty loud, no exhaust, no mufflers. The pipes on this are shearer. They were built specifically for this motor. So this motor is a 10 mil twister motor, but he built the pipes exactly for this motor. He knew what kind of horsepower it would have. So the rear paddles are 16 paddle staggered. On the Douglas rims that were race cut in the middle. The rear axle is a jj&a gun drilled 26-inch rear axle. The bearing carrier is a lightened one. The brakes, as I was saying, were wheelwood brakes. We have wheelwood master cylinder and wheelwood caliper with the wheelwood steel braided brake line. So the gear ratio on this bike with this size tire and pushing, this is 280 pound bike and I'm 180. So pushing that kind of weight, I have a gear ratio of 15 on the front, and the back I alter from 42 to 45, just depending on how the track's set up or wet. So that's what I do with that. It's still a 520 chain that I run on this. It's full 120 links. It takes all of it. The electronics are all basically Banshee. And from what I've found so far, there really isn't anything aftermarket that is as good as the original stuff. If you look at any of the off-market brands, there's a few new ones. There's one that actually adjusts timing as you ride it. I'd like to learn about that one, but I've only seen one person be able to use it properly, so we'll stick with the stock stuff. It always seems to work the best. My dream for this bike is to make a kickstart 3-cylinder, approximately 10 mil motor that I can put in it. The frame originally was for a triple. This frame's gone on 3.3 before, and it does fine, so I'm not concerned with that. I think it'll just still run nice and straight. I would just like to get a little more power and still have it consistent. Do the combination of the two, which is very difficult. I've been racing at Albany, Oregon's drag track, sand drag track. It's at the Motor MX course in Albany. This year we're going to Dome Valley. We haven't done too many trips outside of Oregon in quite a while. Went down to Vegas once before, and that's it. I've never really been in other tracks. I've been to Winchester Bay for Dune Fest. Ran those races 3 or 4 different times. Came in first the last time we went, but that was in '09. My son came in first in his class too in '09. So it was quite a day. For clutch discs, this runs the Yamaha, I think it's the FZR 750 clutches and plates, which are, obviously bigger motor, a lot more grip. My favorite time on this bike was in 2018, the Pacific Northwest Shootout. There was 34 people in our class, which is perfect, kind of large. It was great, and I was there with another friend camping next to me, and we get along quite well, Steve Seaver. And we, as we left to go get in line for the test and tune for that race, I told him, "You and me, 1-2 today, out of 34 guys." And we didn't know how many people would be in it. We got over there, and the line was ridiculous. We got in line, went out racing, started. I won a couple rounds. He won a couple rounds. We had people with breaking bikes. We had people missing gears, all kinds of stuff, and we were just consistent. And sure enough, we did it. We went 1-2. I was 1. He was 2. The year before we had a race that we tried to do that, and we went the opposite. He went 1-2. He went first, and I got second. So that was my favorite race, and that was a couple years ago. This last year I couldn't make it. So once upon a time it ran on gas. When it was running on gas, I ran a 4.3, or anywhere from 4.3 to 4.1. I could never get. I think the fastest it ever went on gas was a 4.002, and that was the fastest it ever ran on gas. The next year I went to alcohol, and right out of the gate I was at 3.95, 3.92. So I gained almost a tenth just immediately by going to alcohol, and it costs half as much. Burns twice as much, but costs half as much.